Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I was thinking of titling this video, "It Gets Harder as You Get Older." And I'm talking about music here, okay? No, I've talked about this before, and I'm going to show you what I've been listening to the last couple of nights. Some updates there, and at least one new CD. But I'm 67 years old. I'm retired. I no longer work, even though, I feel I do work still every day, on my YouTube channels and on Patreon, doing, quite a bit of computer work. And I enjoy it. I'm making videos. I never used to have this kind of, not a worry, but it just, I guess, an annoyance that even though I've cut back on the CDs I have in my collection, I still can't listen to everything I want to listen to. It's like I want to listen to everything I love at once. But that's kind of impossible. And so, every night I'll choose 3, 4, or 5 CDs to listen to and relax in bed. Sometimes have a little tomato soup. It's legal here in Ontario. Okay, tomato soup's legal. But I'm always thinking, I need to listen to, for instance, the band Nectar. I haven't listened to them in maybe 2-3 months. I love Nectar. Electric Light Orchestra. I was on such a ELO kick for weeks on end, and I still want to listen to them. I still love their music, but I haven't listened to any of the albums in at least a month or more, probably 6 weeks. And then, I'm still discovering new artists, even if they're from the 60s. For instance, as some of you know, Donovan. I'm on a huge Donovan kick. I only have 2 of his albums, but there's more slowly coming in the next few weeks. So I have Sunshine Superman, and I'm still playing this. I missed one night where I didn't play any Donovan. But besides that, I play these 2 albums, Sunshine Superman and Mellow Yellow. I always play this one first, and then the follow-up, Mellow Yellow, together. And so I've probably heard these at least eight nights in a row, excluding one night. And I just love them so much. And I just want to mention that so far, of all of the Donovan songs I've heard, I think Celeste from Sunshine Superman, the final song, is my favorite. It's one of my all-time favorite songs, at least at the moment. But I'm just so impressed with Donovan. Where has he been all my life? So yeah, I guess my question for my viewers is, do you ever feel overwhelmed with all of the music you love and you can't keep up with it all? And that's why I'm almost thinking, of maybe purging my CD collection just a bit more, because I've got AC/DC. I haven't listened to those AC/DC CDs, and I love the music, but I haven't listened to them in probably 5 years, and there they sit in my collection. So I just feel, and that's the thing too, as you get older, it's like time is ticking away, and it's like you kind of wonder how much time you have left. It's kind of morbid to think that, but you'll be thinking that when you get, into your 60s and 70s. And you don't want to waste any time with what you're listening to. You want to, listen to what you love to listen to. So let's get into what I've been listening to. First of all, I got another new CD, and there's another one coming at some point today. It's Brian Wilson with Van Dyke Park's Orange Crate Art, which I've never heard. So looking forward to that. And yesterday I got in the mail Brian Wilson at My Piano. And when I look at this photo of Brian, right, it kind of, not that he looks like my dad, but he's kind of the age my dad was, before he passed away. And it just reminds me of my dad, and just the sweetness in his face, it kind of gets to me, right? So this is Brian performing all of these well-known, for the most part, Beach Boys songs, and one solo song, Love and Mercy. And I actually thought this was piano and vocals. What do I know? I'd never heard this before. And so when I put it on, I'm waiting for Brian to sing, and of course he doesn't. It's just piano. But it's very nice. I mean, the melodies are gorgeous. I didn't listen to all of this because, I'd rather listen to other things than just piano for at least last night. But I'm going to listen to all of this at some point. It'd be really nice background music also. And I'm, glad to have this in my collection because I love Brian Wilson. It's never going to be a favorite of mine, but Brian was one of the best. And then speaking of Brian, that's what I'm saying about, so much great music to listen to. I only played this once, that Lucky Old Sun, and probably a few weeks back, whenever, 2-3 months ago. And I really did enjoy it on the first listen. Sometimes I don't, sometimes it takes a few listens, but I liked it right away, quite a bit. But did I play it again? No. Until the other night, I'm looking at it and said, I haven't played this since the first time I played it. And I guess I loved it more than the first listen because I was so impressed with this. I feel that this is, at some point, this is a pretty well-loved Brian Wilson solo album overall, I think. But I believe at some point, this is going to be considered Brian Wilson's pet sounds of his solo career. It's so inventive, and I will definitely be playing this more. I love it. I also got this yesterday. Now I already have the one album, but I needed the other one. And the cheapest way to get the other one is to buy it in one of these 2-for packs. So I already have Surfin' Safari, but now I also have Surfin' USA, their second album. What a what a kind of cheesy album cover for the Beach Boys, right? And so I'd never heard the album Surfin' USA. Of course, I know the songs like Surfin' USA and Shut Down. Now, I also played Surfin' Safari last night again, their first album, and it's not one of the greatest debut albums ever. They're just, Brian's just starting to produce and everything, and the harmonies aren't quite there yet, but they're still, they're not, it's not a bad album, but it's just an okay album. And Surfin' USA is better. I especially love, Surfin' USA and the final 2 tracks, Let's Go Trippin', great instrumental, and Finders Keepers. And then Lonely Sea is gorgeous. So overall, it's a better album than the debut. But certainly wouldn't be ranked as one of my favorites. But nice to have it in my collection. And it's funny when, you think of a band's discography and you always have, you think, a favorite from the band's discography. That's my number one album. And I thought for years that my favorite Talking Heads album was Fear of Music. But I think I've kind of maybe changed my mind, and I thank my viewers for telling me to, it's one of the greats. Remain in Light. I always loved Once in a Lifetime and Cross-Eyed and Painless. And that was kind of about it. I don't think I gave it enough of a chance, a few years back. And just in the last few weeks, I've been listening to this a lot, and I think I love it I think I love it more than Fear of Music. So at the moment, this is my favorite Talking Heads album. So I thank everybody that told me not to give up on it. And like I said, there's bands I want to listen to. I haven't listened to Ween in quite a while, and I love Ween. And the Velvet Underground I haven't listened to for a few weeks. So I actually played all of their albums in the last week. And last night I played Loaded. And I've always said that White Light, White Heat is my favorite Velvet Underground's album. But I don't know. I'm starting to think this is their best. So let me know. And, their debut is great too. I listened to that. I think maybe because everybody else is saying it's their best album, it's like I don't want to just go along with it just because everybody else says it is. So I've always kind of gravitated towards their other albums more. But their debut is awesome. If it's number one, I can't blame you. But at the moment, I think Loaded is my favorite. And another band I've been listening to a little bit through the months, but there was a point where I was listening to so much of their music and loving it, never got bored with it. And last night I need to listen to more Can, man. And I had not heard, I'd played Future Days, Take Omega, quite a bit in the past year. But this album, I think I've played it a few times, but I've been ignoring it the last few months. And it is awesome. And I think, I didn't realize it's as crazy as Take Omega. But it's not all crazy, just great music, some great grooves on it. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not going to even bother because somebody will let me know in the comment section below that I pronounced it wrong. And I really don't care what it's called. It's just a great Can album, okay? Egi Bamyasi. Did I pronounce it properly? And speaking of Ween, I have not played this yet. I've seen some footage, but I bought this used. And by the way, some of these, like that Beach Boys Twofer, was bought used, and the CDs are in excellent condition. I've never had issues when I buy something on Amazon that's used and it says it's in very good condition. It always is. But I finally got, this was expensive, but I finally got Ween live in Chicago. This is the DVD, and it includes a CD. Now the CD doesn't have as many songs, but there's the DVD. And like I said, I have seen some of the footage on YouTube, but I haven't watched this whole concert yet, but looking forward to it. And I'm sure maybe the separate CD of Live in Chicago has the whole, maybe it's a double CD, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can let me know. But I'm usually not a fan of, a DVD with a CD in it because I want my CDs in my CD collection. But what can you do? So that's it. Ween, I love Ween. And yeah, so I just find as I get older, music means more and more to me. And I even listen, I always listen with headphones, but I even listen with more attention to what's going on, I guess. And always picking up new things with even, some of the older music that I've listened to many, many times. And the Beatles, I still play. I never get tired of the Beatles. I'm always playing one of their albums. Usually every week I play at least one or two Beatles albums. So that's it. Enough rambling. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye. Remember to like the video, by the way, and leave a comment below and subscribe.